that value will be vanished.
So this garbage collection in Python, it is done internally. Once we exit out of that program, so all the memory is auto deallocated.
Okay, not within the program.
No, not
Okay.
within the program. We don't have that thing in Python. We okay. Yes, then to answer to your question, okay, let me is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, for me, I'm able to see.
Yes, it is visible.
So your question is how this is happening internally. You want to know A comma B equals to B comma A.
Yes.
Okay. So for the time being, let's not take A comma B. Okay. A comma B is also fine, but just for your understanding, okay. I'm taking some new variables V1 and V2. So the assignment happens when this is an assignment operator. Okay. So we have seen addition operator, plus minus arithmetic operator. We have seen in the previous classes, right? Plus minus multiplication, division, exponent, modulus. Okay. So this is an assignment operator. It's an equal to, and it works from right to left. Okay, right to left in the sense. Yes, if you see this thing we saw in the previous class. So if you see this associativity for these operators, it is left to right. Okay, but for equals to, it is right to left. That means first B, it will not read these first whenever we have this equal to. Okay, it will assign B to V1 and A to V2.
Okay.
Okay. Now, one more thing I wanted to show. For example, A is 12, B is 13. Now, if we put it back, A comma B. Now, B is being assigned to A, right? And you are saying that after this, suppose this is happening, and post that you are saying this value of A will be B, right? Then how it is being swapped here? Is that your
Yes.
question, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Uh, so to answer to your question, we remove this line first. Okay, we will make use of one inbuilt function called ID. Okay, ID gives you the memory location of that particular variable. So this is the memory location. Okay, how this is computed, this is out of scope. Okay, how this they get this, but this is just a is pointing to a memory location. It will be different for each person's computer. Okay, depending on the memory which is unallocated, they will allocate something. Okay, you see this this is the memory location for A variable. This is the memory location for B variable. Okay. Now what happens? Suppose if we assign A the value of 13. Okay. Suppose after swapping we got this number. For
Okay.
example, yes, we made A equals to B. Okay, A is 13 now. So what happens now? You see the memory location of A. Is it the same? The memory location of A is not the same, right?
Yes.
Yes, so that means what? This value is there in the memory. Okay. But now A is not pointing to this, A is pointing to this. So if I explain to you with the help of a small diagram, feel free to ask me when I'm copying these emails. Uh, I didn't get you. Sorry. Can you please come again? Even saying anything? Am I audible?
Yes, yes. You are audible.
Okay, sure. I think we lost that. Okay, any questions you can feel free to ask. Okay. So let's take this example. Okay. First number, second number. Okay. Now what we are doing? Now we are, for example, when we see the statement A comma B equals to B comma A, or here we have first number and this. No, I'm just making it as A and this is B. So initially A is 24, B is 12. Okay. Now I want to swap them. So what I'm doing, I'm assigning this value of 12 to A. Okay. So what is happening now? This when I mention like this, A equals to B. So what happens? This arrow is now pointing here. Okay.
Okay.
This arrow is now pointing here, and this one is also pointing here. Okay.
So
So
A
what will
will be
happen?
holding
This
two
will,
values.
so this will be removed. Okay, but this value is present here.
Okay.
Okay. Now after the statement, when we mention B as A, right? So you're saying this should point here. B is this 12, right? Sorry, not here. This one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But since this is happening at this, at the same line, so like they so they might happen parallelly at the same time, like this value, that since it is happening in the same line, so this might happen, parallelly, like without sequence. If we do sequentially, then you are right, it will be pointing here, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it might happen parallelly, or it might happen in some other way. Okay. uh, I also have to check this. Okay, I will check this and come back, because this is a little bit like this is a little bit tricky one. Okay. I haven't gone through the explanation for this. Okay. Like basically I have read A comma B equals to B comma, but what happens internally, I'm also not sure. But if I get something, I will definitely, tell you. Okay. But since
Okay.
this is happening on the same line, so from my understanding, this should be happening, parallelly rather than sequentially like this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So any other doubts, guys? In the previous day topic, anything? So in previous day, like what are the topics we have covered? I think we covered input statement, covered print statement. Saw some data types like integer, float, string. We saw how can we convert from one data type to another data type. Happen between data types, we saw. What we saw the use of AND and SCP keyword, right? AND and step with print statement. We saw F string and format method. What else we covered? Is there anything I'm missing? I think I covered some if block also, right? If else block I covered. Well, if else block we covered. We saw indentation, right? So while doing, if we give some spaces, we saw indentation as well. Okay. Anything else, guys, I covered, or am I missing anything here? You want to add something?
Operators, relational operators.
Yes, correct. We saw relational operators. The relational operators, we also saw arithmetic operators. And then let's see, we have some assignment operators as well, like whenever we are mentioning a equals to 12. So basically this equal to is an assignment operator. Okay. Now there is something says assignment operator, and suppose I want to increment this equals to a plus 12. Then if we print this, save it with assignment. If I save and run this, so this is 24. So another way of doing this, a equals to a plus 12 is generally you will say it's a plus equals to 12. Comment out this. Yeah, so we have covered these comments also, right? We have covered single line comment and multi-line comments. Okay, so this is also one way of doing it. A plus equals to 12. We run this in the same value. Okay. This is sometimes called your augmented operators. You can also call it augmented. But generally, they won't ask you these in interviews, just for us, because you will see when you will read others' code now, you will see this kind of code, a plus equals to 12. So that you don't get confused, it is nothing but a equals to a plus 12. Okay. Similarly, it can be used with any of the arithmetic operators, like you can use it with plus equals to, minus equals to, multiplication equals to. It will do the same thing. Like example, if I want to do a equals to a into 12, okay, I'll just replace this with this. It is 144. Okay, any doubt, guys, in this particular operator? Like plus equals to or minus equal to or multiplication equal to division equal to. Any doubt, or is this clear? Yeah, I will be covering about nested if also. There is one. Okay, we will just cover this and then we'll go to this. Okay, no, nothing means I think no question. So we have seen arithmetic operators, we saw assignment operators, we saw relational operators. Okay, and there's something called logical operators. Okay, it comes and or not. Okay, so logical operators. They are basically used in combination with relational operators. Okay. For example, I take one number as input. Okay, and I want to check whether this number is greater than 10 or greater than 0 and number is less than 100. Okay, this is my this. So here we have used one logical operator. Okay, print number is between 0 and 0. It's greater than, right, between 1 and. So if I save and run this, enter the number I mentioned 34. Okay, I'm getting this error. Can anyone tell me why I'm getting this error?
Because number is considered as string and 0 is an int. We are comparing between two different data types.
So in this program, what are the different data types you can see?
Int and string.
No, which variable is int and which variable is an integer?
Number
0 is
treat as a
integer.
string.
One at a time. Yes, please. Please go ahead. Which one is an integer? Which one is a string?
0 is an integer and number is a string.
Okay. So how can we convert this string into an integer?
Type, we can give type.
Type.
Int type.
Yeah, we can use int function, right? In inbuilt function.
Mhm.
Okay. So if I run this, and let me expand this. Enter the number in 23. There we are getting this output. What else can we use instead of integer here? Can we use any other inbuilt function in Python?
Eval.
Eval also. Correct. Okay, so this was basically AND operator. Okay, so if we use OR operator, so either of them, if either the number is greater than 0 or the number is less than 101, so this will greater than, let's give some negative condition. If number is greater than 0 and number not equals to 99. Okay, so if any one of these or number equals to, wait, 999. Okay, if any one of the condition is satisfied, wait, no, it's still, it is less than 0. Okay. So if the number is either less than 0 or the number equals to 999, then it will print this. any one of the conditions. That number should not satisfy both the conditions. Okay. So if I give, let's not take as dynamic input just to understand. We are giving static input here. Okay, if I give -1. Okay, if I give -1, is this condition true? Number less than 0.
Yes.
Is this condition true?
No.
No. Okay, so one is true and one is false. Okay, so anyone, if in case of or, if any one of them is true, then it will return true. Okay, so this will be executed. Save and run this. Okay, so it entered that if. Okay, but in case of if we use and here, okay, so true and true. So both the conditions should be met. Both should be true, then only this will be executed. So if we run this now, we will see that it is not entering this if block. It is not printing. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt here? And an or? Okay, this is and or. For and, and both it will return true. Both the conditions are satisfied. Okay. For example, if I don't take this in an if statement, okay, I just take it in a variable check. What will be the value of this check? Anyone wants to take a guess? Okay, invalid syntax. We have not removed that colon. Okay, it is false. So if it is false, then if we are checking in the condition, if condition, it will be false, so it will not enter it. Okay. But if we give or here, and if we run this, so it is giving us true. Okay, any one of the condition, or means any one of the condition is true, it will give us as true. Any doubts, guys, so far?
Sorry, check is the logical operator, is it?
Yes, checking the logical operator and or.
Okay, got it.
Now if we use not, okay. So what we'll do, not is going to just reverse the value. Okay. For example, if this number less than 0 or number equals to 999, so this will return a true. Okay. So if we do a not of this, okay, not of the value, then what will happen? It will give us an opposite value. It will give us false. Okay. Not will just reverse that, like inverse the value or reverse the anything. You can say inverse the value. Like it will make true as false and false as true. Okay, so is this clear? Logical operators and or not? Any doubts, or we are good to go ahead? Fine. Now, last class, we are talking about if block. Okay. So suppose we want the same condition, okay? If we are taking this number and we are just checking if number less than 0, number equals to 9, print. Let's just change the condition if number less than 0 and number equals to minus 999. Okay, we'll make this condition as and. Right, so save and run this. And it is not printing anything because this condition is not fulfilling. Okay, let's comment out this. A number, if you make it 999. Okay, now it is less than 0 and this is equals to this. It's an AND condition, so it is going to enter here. Okay, and will print okay. Now same thing without AND, how we can write, we can have nested if. Okay, if number is less than 0, this is the first condition. If this is true, then check if number is if number equals to minus 999, print okay. Same thing what we are doing with the help of logical operators, we are doing with nested if. If this condition is satisfying, then check this condition and then print okay. Same logic. So rather than using a nested if, we can do it with the help of AND operator. Okay. So inside nested if, we can have else block also for this nested else. Print here number not equals to 999. And here we can mention number equals to number equals to 999. Sorry, not 999, minus 999. And number is less than 0. Not equals to 999, but it is less than 0. So this is how we give a nested if else statement. Inside an if, we can have multiple if else statement like this. We run this. So any doubts, guys, in this nested if? How do we define? Are we good to go? Okay. Okay, so we have seen nested if also. Else nested if. Now we are going to see one data type in Python called list. Okay, this is very important data type list. I will close this file. Basically, your list is a collection of objects, or you can say, can be a collection of different data types as well. Data types or similar data types in a like just like in other programming languages, we have an array, which is nothing but a collection of similar objects. So like we can have, a list of names. And how do we denote it? We enclose it in this third bracket, okay, square brackets. And we can have multiple objects inside this, okay. So let's have all the name of the participants. Okay. So basically, so if you see, we have a list, we have multiple strings inside this list. Okay. But it can be, we can have, different data types. We can have an integer value also. We can have this value also. We can have a Boolean value also. Okay. But this is not possible in case of array. Okay. Array will have same data objects of same data type. Okay. Same data type, but list can have multiple data types. Just we am changing the name because there are multiple elements here. Okay, list one. Okay, so we can have a list like this if it is enclosed in this square bracket. Okay, this is important to understand, square bracket. Okay. Now if I just save this, now I want to print this list. We're getting this value. And yes, and you can see we have different data types value in the list. We have string, we have string objects, we have integer object, we have float object, we have Boolean object. Okay, it's a combination of this. Now, how do we access? So we will see some basic operations on this list. Okay, how can we access any element? How to add any element? How to remove the element? There are some basic methods in the list that we have to understand. Okay. So to act, and basically this list is stored like this. I just made one Excel for this. Okay, if you see, we have a list here. For example, Samir, Sam. We have 5 elements in the list. Okay, and what is the list that we have here? Okay, we have few more elements. 1, 12, 2. That's fine. Can use it later also. So I'm just trimming it right now. We are having only 5 elements just to make you understand the concept of indexing. Okay. So we have five string objects inside this list. Okay. Here also we have 5 string objects. Okay. In list we have something called indexing. Okay. Like, and indexing starts with 0. So if you want to access the first element, okay, this is at 0th position, 0th index we say. Okay, if you want to access only the first element, so we will mention 0. Okay, so this is going to print give us return the first element. Okay, if you want to access this second element, we have to give a 1. Okay, so tell me guys, what will be the index value of this element, Tony?
4.
4, right? So what if, so this is the last element, okay? What if we give one more than this? Do we have any element at 5th index?
No.
No. So whenever we try to access an element at an index that is more greater than the size of this, okay, we will get one error. List index out of range. Okay, this is a very common error that we get when we try to access any element at a position at an index that is greater than the length of this list. Okay, this is a very common interview question. They will ask you, what error will you get when you try to access an element that is out of the range of that list? And how do you find the length of that list? So with the help of this len keyword, okay, len, this keyword, if this is the, like, len is a function, okay, not a key. Yeah, you can take it as a keyword also, but this is a function. So if we give the list name here, okay, so this len function will return the size of the list. Okay, inside len function we have to pass the name of the list. Now if we try to, let's make it 4, or let's remove it, let's just print the list. Okay, so how many elements are present? 5 elements are present. Okay, if I want to print the last element, what we will do? Suppose I am storing this length in some variable, okay, called length of list. Okay, and if I want to access the last element, what I will give? Print, the name of the list, that is this, and inside square bracket, if we give length of the list, will it give an error or will it work? Will work? It should not work, right? Because what is the length? It is 5, right? And if we do list and this 5, there is no 5th index. It is still 4th index. Correct? Correct. If I run this, you get the same error, right? List index out of range. So how can we fix it in this particular step? Anyone? -1. Correct, yes. So we can give -1 here, okay? Inside this -1. So this will be 5 minus 1, 4, okay? So we can mention the last element is this, okay? So this what we have done by using length, this makes it dynamic, okay? Because our list can be of any size, can be 20, 25. So we maybe if it's a very huge list, thousands of records, then it is not possible for us to manually see what is the last index, okay? So what we can do, we can make use of this length function, and then we can we know that okay, this is the length, so this our elements are till this index, then we can print it accordingly. Okay guys, is this clear guys? Any doubt here so far? And this list we are going to use almost in everywhere, most of the places we are going to use list, so we have to understand this. So also in Python, you can access the element using negative index. Okay. For example, here we saw how we will access the last element, okay, by using positive index. Like there were 5, if there are 5 elements, we are using 4, okay. Same thing, the negative index starts from -1 from the last element, okay. It will start from here -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, okay. So what if like if you want to print the last element using negative index, print the last element using X. Okay. So what are we going to write here? Anyone wants to help me out with this? -1 would do, right? Last element is Tony for this particular statement, and again we are getting this as Tony here. Can we define column values in a table? Can we define a column values in a table using a list? I didn't get your question, Rizwan. Can you like explain your question a little bit more?
Yeah, just like we have a table. In table, we have many columns. So a list is a container for various data types, right? So if you have to pull up the table in a Python and define the columns as a list, can we do that? For
So
example, we
where
have
is your
a table in our SQL database.
yes? So where,
We give data types to it.
I got it. So you're saying you have a table in your database, and there might be several columns in that particular table, and you want to put all those columns in like in list, right? Is that your question?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes,
will.
that
Yes,
is.
yes, yes. We can definitely do that, and we will see it also when we see how Python will integrate with our database, how we can fetch values and store it in our using Python, how will they interact. There we will see, we'll be fetching the values from the database and we'll be storing it in our different data types here, lists, tuples, dictionaries. Okay.
Sure, easy.
Yeah, we will see it once we progress a little bit further. We have one module where we are seeing a database connectivity with Python. There we will see it. Okay.
Sure, thanks.
Yeah. Yes, guys. So I just showed you how do we access individual elements in a list. Okay. Now suppose I want to insert one value to this list. We have this list. I want to insert one value to this list. Okay. So how can we do that? We have some methods. Okay. First we will see this method called append. Okay. So it will add value to the end of the list. For example, this is a list. I want to append one value to this. So I want to insert the name of Rizwan in this list. And then if you print this list, so we have got Rizwan at the end. Okay. Suppose this was one method append. Okay. There is another method. So there are many methods in this list. Okay. So there's one method called insert. Okay. So this append will always add value towards the end of the list. Okay. Now suppose I want to insert one value at the beginning of the list. Okay. So what we can do, suppose I want to insert in the first position. Okay. So we have to do it index wise here. So the first position index is 0. So we will do it 0 and I want to put my name at the beginning. Print this list. So if I run this, now you see I've inserted my name in the beginning. So with the help of append method, we insert it at the end, and with the help of insert method, we can insert anywhere, okay, by giving the index value. Any doubt in these two things, right, so far? Okay, I have no doubts. So we have append, we have insert. Now suppose I want to remove some values from this list. Okay, I want to remove some of the values from this list. So how can we do that? So we have one method called pop. Okay, so this pop method will remove the value from the end. Okay, so in our list it will remove the last element of the list. Okay, so after here we see we have this last value is 1. Okay, if we use this pop method here and then we try to print this list, okay, so we see the last element is gone. Okay, so I have prepared one document for you guys where you have the important methods of list. Okay, so we saw this insert, it inserts an element at the given index. Okay, we have seen append, we saw pop, it removes the last element. Okay, we have something called remove. Okay, so what it does, I hope this document is clear, or shall I enlarge this a little bit? Is this visible, guys, to everyone? So we have something called remove also. So tell me one thing, what is the difference between, what difference you see in this append and insert method? Can anyone tell me what difference you see in this append method and this insert method? So if you see in append method, we are only passing one value, okay, to this method. But in insert method, we are passing two values. Right, we are passing the index as well as the value you want to insert in that position. Okay, but in append, you are passing only one value. Okay, now so I want to remove one value from this list. Okay, so I have done with the help of pop, that removes the last element. Okay, now if I want to remove, suppose my name, okay, my name from the list. So if you see, it removes the first occurrence of value. For example, till this point, what is, save this. So last, this Danish, Samir, Jai, Pritam, Anna, Tony. Okay, I want to add another. So we have one Samir here. Okay, I want to add another Samir to this list. How can we do that? Can we do it with the help of append? Yes. Now if you put in the list, if you in this list, so now we have two Samir, one here and one here. Okay. Now I want to remove Samir from this. So how can we do that? Remove the value. Okay, and then I want to print this list. Okay, here you see we had two Samirs. Now we have only one Samir. Okay. So what this remove will do, it will remove the first occurrence of that Samir. So first occurrence was here. That is why it removed this, but it did not remove it. Okay, guys, and if you want to see the count, how many times one element has occurred in that list, okay, what you can do, you can just use this function called count. Okay, list one dot count. I will print this. You see how many times Samir has occurred? Once and twice. One and two, right? 2 times. Okay, so I'm just telling you the important methods, okay, which I use in list. Rest you can also see it from your end. Okay. Now we have something. Count, insert, append, index. Yeah, suppose I want to see at what position my element is present. Okay. In this list, there are so many values. I want to see at what position this j is present. Okay. Then we can make use of that index method. List one dot index. J is present at 0, 1, and second index. Okay, so we're getting the values to here. Suppose I have given some value which is not present in the list, some random value. Okay, then let's see what this index is going to print. What is the error we are getting? This string is not in the list. Okay, and if you want to see the data type of this list, print data type of the list. We use the same type function. Okay, and we'll use this name of the list here. The data type of the list is belongs to class list. Okay, list. Okay, so till now, guys, you have any doubts, any questions so far? No doubts. Okay, so we have one more method. I will just we have many more methods. I'm showing you the important ones. Suppose we have two lists. Okay, I'm just commenting out the rest of the code. So we have list one and we have another list, list two. So we are having some mixed data type value, integer, float, string. Okay, and I want to concatenate these two lists into a single list. Okay, list one and list two in a single list. Creating a single list. So for that, we have one method called extend. Okay. We have this method called extend. I think I have mentioned that in the document as well. Extend. Okay. It concatenates another list at the end of first list. And I will give the name of the list. Then if you print this list of first list, See, now the value of the list is, it has added both the like the second list with the first list here. Okay. I can do the same thing with the help of plus operator. Okay. List 1 plus list 2. Okay. And I create a new list out of this. Actually, try to do this. Let's do it before this. I've used this addition operator, okay, for these two lists. Got a new list. So what is okay, here you see I created a new list with the help of these two lists, okay? But in this, while using this extend keyword, we are not creating a new list. It is appending it to the existing list. Okay, so what can be the concatenating list? So what is the difference between these two things? Like here, our original list is not getting modified. If you print this same thing, it is as it is, okay? But in this, it is adding it to the first list and changing the content of the list. You see? After this, we are printing the first list. It is getting printed as it is. But when we are using this extend keyword, it is changing this first list. So is this difference clear, guys, between the two? This when we are adding using a plus operator to add two lists, and when we're using this extend keyword, is this difference clear? No one is speaking up. I think are you taking like, is it too difficult to understand, or is it too simple to understand, or you think like I'm going too fast? Guys, could you please give your inputs?
Yeah, this is going fine. Able to understand. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So we have these methods. So I'm not telling you each and every method from this. Okay, you can explore some. I will give you an assignments. Okay, so we have something called sort. Okay, this is an interesting method. So I want to sort. Let's have another list. This is list of numbers. Okay, we have 23, we have 12, we have 56, we have 78, we have 99. Okay, so now if we sort this list with the help of, we sort this list with the help of sort method, okay, dot sort. And this is mentioning in comment. This is the grid list. It did not print anything, okay. Why? Because this short method is not returning anything, okay. So what we have to do we have to print it in a new line. This should work. Again, it is not. Oh, sorry, it is printing here, right? I just missed it. Sorted list. Okay. So what is this a descending sort or an ascending sort? What do you see from this output?
Ascending.
Yes, this is an ascending order. What if I want to do it in a descending order? Okay, so if you want to make it a descending order, you have to give this reverse equals to 2. Reverse equals to 2. If you do this, then you see what the order got changed. Right, guys?
Yes.
Now, suppose I want to sort this list number 2. Okay. I will just remove the name. Okay, and let's sort it a normal sort, ascending sort. Let's see what output we are getting. You see, can you read out the error? What is the error we are getting here? So this less than sign, okay, less than, they are using it for their, relational operator they're using internally to find which one is greater or less, okay. But this is showing it is not supported between string and float. So if you see this list is having one string value, okay, it is having one float value. So this sorting cannot be done on mixed data types. Objects of different data types, sorting will not work. So that is why I created this integer, and then I showed you by sorting it. But if we do this here, it won't work because here the list is containing objects of different data types. Clear, guys? So will this work in case of the first list 1? What do you think, guys? Will this work with this? All are of similar, same data type, right? All are string. Let's run this and see. So this is working fine, right? Sorted this string in an ascending order. Clear, guys? Any doubt here so far? Okay, so the sorting is covered. So there can be a question, you may say, okay, these numbers are being sorted, we understood, but how are these being sorted, these string values?
Alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order. Yeah, that is partially correct. So we have something called, we have a value for each character, okay? We have some value for each character. For small a, it will be different. For capital A, it will be different, okay? How can we see that value? Let's show you that. We comment out first, just for our understanding how it is being done. Comment out the entire code here. Suppose we have only a single A, okay? And we have another character, it's a small a. If you want to see what is the value of these characters, we have a function called ORD. Okay. So in this thing, value of A is not the value, it is actually ASCII. Okay, ASCII value. So only the variable name is char. Let's print them. See this value. Capital A is 65, small a is 97. So in this way, it will first compare these values here. Okay, S with J, like the first letters, first character of each string will be compared. Okay, if the first character is same, suppose we have two A's, then it will compare the second character value. Okay, in this way, we do the string comparison. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt? So here, if you see, we can have something like this condition also, you know, if name is greater than char, print order of like the ASCII value of name. Okay, else print the ASCII value of the char. So we can use relational operator also here. So this one is greater, so that is why it is printing capital A. So any doubts, guys, here so far? Is this clear? Okay, now means yes. Okay, so let's come back to our topic list. So as we mentioned in the definition, it's a collection of objects, okay, or similar data types. So we saw how do you access individual elements also. Now we can also have a list in a list. Okay, that is basically a nested list. For example, so we have this this many values in the list. Okay, I want to have another list here. That is nothing but suppose few numbers here. Okay, now if we just print this list, okay, I'm just printing this list here. Unterminated triple quoted string little detected where. Okay, this one is okay. So I'm giving some more this. No, I think I should not get this. Trying to short something where. Just a moment, guys. Like there's so many lines of code now, so we are just getting some errors here and there. Now I think it should work fine. So you see this, we have a list inside a list. So what is the index of this list? How can we print this list? Anyone can tell me, please? I want to print the last element of this list.
Maybe 5.
0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5. We can make use of this length also. Okay. we can make use of that length of this list -1. That would also do for the time being. Length of list 1 -1. Okay. So if you see this, so this is giving you the last element. Okay. Now inside this last element, I want to access the second element here. How can we do that? Let's replace this with 5 for our better understanding. So again, inside this list, what is the index of this first element? It is 0. Index of 2 is 1. Index of 3 is 2. Index of 4 is 3. Okay, so inside this also, we can print the element like this with the help of zeros and ones. Okay, so this is the last element, and inside this last element, I want to print the first element of that list. Okay, so 1 will be printed. What index should I give if I want to print the third, this value, third value here in this? Two, correct. So we have to give 2 here. Okay, so this is basically nothing but a list inside a list. So basically this is called a nested list. Okay, we can have a list. We can have, in fact, as the more data structures we will cover, the different data like tuple set. So we can have those also inside a list. Okay, so we have seen this nested list. So we have seen how do we insert element at the end of the list using this append method, right? So, for example, in this list 2, suppose, in this list 2, so what append does? Append will insert an element at the end. Okay, insert an individual element. Okay, so we can inside this list 2, I can append a single one like this. Okay, and then I print this. One. Okay, what if in the place of 1 I give this list name here? So is this going to work, guys? What do you think? Append, it inserts one object at the end. Okay, it can be a list or it can be a single object also. So here I am just appending, I'm giving this name, entire thing. Okay, you run this. Okay, so this entire list got inserted. Okay, this entire list got inserted here. Now, okay, this you saw as append. Okay, what if I used here extend instead of append? Okay, extend we saw from this extend concatenates another list at the end of first list. Okay, this is the extend. Append is adds a new element to the end of the list. So if we use extend and print the same thing here, so can you see the difference between this we did append, okay, and this we did extend? Can you see the difference between the two? We extended in extend also I gave one list at the list name. In append also I gave a list name. Can you see the difference between the two? From here the difference starts. If you see the Samir, And if you see Samir here, what is the difference? Yes, so third bracket, that means when we, so basically it is inserting a sub list into a list. Okay, a nested list. But here it is adding it as an individual element, not as a list. Okay, in extend, when we give, it will just join and make a single list. But in append, if we give a list, it is going to create a nested list inside that list. So is that clear, guys? Any doubt here? In append and extend, if we give a list, what is the difference? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Okay, so we have talked a lot about list. Now let's come to a similar data type like list. So I will for list I will give you some assignments also. I will give you about list how we can do. I will share this document also. Okay. Now there is a similar data structure, and how do we create an empty list is also important. How can we create an empty list? To create an empty list. So if you want to create an empty list, we just give equals to and this this bracket. Okay, that's it. Nothing more than this. Okay, if you see this type here, so this basically creates an empty list. I did not type it. I'm not printing it. That is why we'll just print this. Okay, so this is how we create an empty list. Okay, so far we have covered these many topics in lists. And when we will learn about for loops, then we will see how we can iterate over each element of the list using a for loop. Okay, so we have not covered loops now. So once we cover for loop, then we will see how we can iterate over each of the elements. Okay, so let's create a new file, and we have another thing, this is called list slicing. Okay, list slicing. Suppose we have a list of many numbers. Okay, I just created a list with so many numbers, and I think this is going to like we'll run this and get an error. Okay, so what is the error? I is not defined. Could you guys guess why we are getting this error? Name I is not defined in this particular list.
I is considered as a string and it should be placed in double quotes.
Exactly. So here they are taking as a variable, and they're expecting some value for I. So either we can declare I like this and we can give some value to it, or else I just want to make it as a string and I just put it in a double or a single quote like this. Okay. Now if we run this, we have this list. Okay. Now I want to print I want another list. I want to create another list from this list, and that list should have values from 0th index to the, I want only the first three elements in a, or maybe yes, I want only the first three elements, okay, in a sub list, in a different list. Okay, so how we can do that? We have some, okay, we can name this as sub list. We give the list name and we use the same square brackets, and here I will just use a colon and I will give the index. Okay, so basically this 0 is the starting index we have to give. Starting index, and the last index. It will exclude the last index. Okay, exclude the last index. For example, if we give 3 here, it will take till 2. Okay, 3 minus 1. So if we print this list, sorry, not this list, the sub list. So it gave us value from the 0th index till the second index because it is going to exclude the last one. Okay, guys, any doubt in this particular thing? Now we can give any value here. I can give till 8th index. We save it. We run this. We print it till 7th index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are some variations to this. There are some variations like if we don't give the last index. Okay, we have given only the starting index. So what it is, and starting index, I have made it as 5. Okay, so we run this. So you see from the 5th index, that is from this 8, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this 8, it is going to print the last. So if we miss the last, if we don't give the ending index, it will take it till the end. Okay. Similarly, if we miss the first index, it will take it from the beginning. Okay, so if we miss both the end, if we don't give any value for the starting and the ending index, what it is going to do, anyone can wants to guess? Blank, print, all. Okay, not blank because starting index, I will just mention here default value. Default value is the first index. Okay, and for last index, it is still the last element. Okay, last. So if you, and for the second value also, it will by default takes towards the end. So it will copy the entire list into this list. Okay. Is this clear, guys? When we don't give any parameter, it is going to copy the entire list into that list. Any doubts so far, guys, in this slicing? This is called slicing. Okay. We are creating a sublist from an existing list. Any doubt? Can I move to the next topic? Okay. So there are some important things to remember for list. Okay. So list is mutable and ordered collection. So what do you mean by list is mutable? Suppose we have this list of so many numbers. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to overwrite the first value. Okay, I want to modify the first value, you can see. So I want to insert my name here. Now if I print this list, this is modified. Okay, so what is happening, it is allowing us to modify the values. That is why it is mutable. Okay, so opposite of mutable is immutable. So what this will do, this will not allow to modify the value. Will not allow to modify the values or add any new element. Okay, so in this list we can, we have modified the value. Okay, we can add the values also with the help of any of the add method. Add some new value also. Okay, these are allowed. That is why list is called immutable. Okay, an ordered collection, like the way in which the order in which we are inserting the value to 3456, and we are accessing it using index, right? So in this way, in this order only, it is being stored. Okay, so that is why it is called ordered. It maintains the order of insertion. So it's mutable and ordered collection. So we have another data type, it's called tuple. Okay, so tuple is immutable. How do we declare so just to declare an empty tuple, we just give this normal first bracket. Okay, and if you want to create a normal tuple, one, two, three, four. Okay, these are the four. I've just created this tuple. I would just want to see the type of this. So I want to print this. This belongs to class tuple, and these are the elements. Okay. Now, I want to add something to this tuple. So you see, we don't have any methods for adding. We only have two methods, count and index. You can see, okay. But in case of list, you see, we will have multiple methods. Append, add, we have for insert is there. Okay, append is there, extend is there. With the help of which we can add elements to this. But here we don't have any. We have only two methods in tuple, count and index. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt here? There are only two methods available to put up. We will see the applications of these, where why this difference and where we are going to use it later in our course. Okay. But just for the time being, just understand list is mutable and ordered collection. Tuple is immutable and this is also an ordered collection. Okay, we can access order. We can access individual elements of tuple like just we do with list. Can we sort tuple? Yes, we can. We can short tuple. Okay, we can, but we cannot do it with the help of sort method that we have in list. Okay, there is another method called sorted. Okay, let's see. This is already a sorted order. Let's change the order. 10, 2, 3, 3, 4. Right. Then this is another method called sorted. Okay, and we just do this, and then if we try to print the tuple. Okay, after sorting, see after sorting also, it is having the same value. Okay, so we can assign it to a new value, to a new tuple. Okay. And then print the second tuple. Okay, because this is immutable, right? We cannot even alter the elements, change the element like first to second, second to third. So what? So it is just after sorting, it is creating a new tuple just for students. There is one more way of doing this. We can convert tuple to a list. Okay, using this list function. Using the list function, we can convert tuple to a list. So how we can do it? Like this is the first tuple, right? I can create a list called first list. We will just use this list and we'll give the name of the tuple here. Okay, these I don't need right now. So I've converted this into a list and then we can sort it. Just what we have this sort method in the list, right? Sort. And we are going to print this. Okay, we are sorting it and this is, so you see we have just sorted it into a list. So so is this clear, guys? Any doubt here? Are we clear? So I will talk about more about this. There are some methods that we can use. Like just now we saw the shorted method, right? We have few methods like this. I will cover it in the upcoming classes. Okay. Can we? Okay. So I think it is clear. We also understood what is the difference between your list and tuple, mutable and immutable. Okay. Ordered also you understood what are ordered. Fine. So we have seen list, we have seen tuples. Tuples also same thing. We can do slicing like what we do here in list. Now we can do slicing also in case of tuple also. Okay, now we have another data type that is called set. Okay. Or before moving into set, tuples. Yeah. Okay, we will move in. Yeah, we'll just see the basics of set and then we'll cover it in details. But before that, so this is an empty tuple, okay? You want to create an tuple with one element. So how can we create it? Using this bracket, okay? And this element. And if we see the type of this, so this is giving us as an integer. It is not giving it as a tuple. Okay, but if we see the type here, we are giving a tuple. Okay, so if we have more than one element here, suppose I have 1, 2. Let's see what is the difference. Getting a triple, but why this is an integer? Okay, this second, have you understood what is the difference? Different output we are getting for this and this. Have you understood the error at the thing which we are talking about? One is giving a tuple type and one is giving an integer type. Then we'll come to the answer why we are getting this kind of output. Anyone can volunteer and tell me what we are trying to understand here. No one wants to. Is this clear, guys? Like, what are we trying to see here? What is the problem we are trying to solve here? Any confirmation, or we are towards the end of the course? We are very tired. No one wants to speak. Okay, I think we have lost the energy in the class. Okay, so can we wrap up the class? We'll continue in the next class. We will cover this in the next class. Okay, for one element, why we are getting this is an integer data type. Okay. but for 2 elements we are not getting.
Yeah,
So-
the set last one, I'm lost actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, set I
The
didn't
last-
cover. I didn't start at set. Okay, I just came back to this tuple. So I was telling we declare a tuple with the help of first bracket. Okay, and the values. So we saw this. We are giving 2 values and we are checking the data type. It is showing as tuple. Okay, but when we are giving only one value inside this first bracket, if we see the data type, it is showing as an integer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So so I was just asking like why this difference in behavior. Okay. Because
Yeah, because we have,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
you can.
second time we have given the variable value as 1, so the Python considers the latest one. So the tuple 1 element variable. So we are printing the tuple 1 element, right? So which is integer. That's why it is showing integer. And earlier,
Yeah.
empty tuple variable is 1,2. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, basically we are having 2 different variable names, 2 different tuples. Okay, empty tuple. We are giving 2 values here. Okay, and then we are having another tuple 1 element. We are giving only 1 element, and we are checking the data type of both the elements.
Yes.
Okay, but your answer was correct because this one is an integer, right? And this isn't just in bracket, okay? Because bracket we use in arithmetic operations, right? If you want to perform any operation first before other operations, then we generally make use of this first bracket.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is why it is taking as integer. So whenever we have only one element in a tuple, give comma at the end of the element. Okay, just to differentiate. Okay, to differentiate between an integer and tuple. Okay, so here I will just give one comma. Okay, then now if I run this, you will see both as tuple. Okay, this. Why don't we just ended this with a comma? Okay, is this clear? Was I able to make you understand this?
Sorry, but why is it giving you the output as tuple? When,
Yeah. Yes, because
when we have an empty tuple is given, we have defined it as empty tuple. Why is it returning?
So yes, that is my mistake. Actually, initially, I showed how do we declare an empty tuple with this. This is an empty tuple.
Yeah.
Okay, this will create an empty tuple. This brackets this show that this is a tuple. Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, for list, it shows if we enclose it within this third square brackets to the list. Okay. Similarly, this is a tuple. Okay. But when we use with only a single variable, like what we are doing here, okay, it takes this because one is an integer value. Okay. It takes
Yeah.
this just as an integer expression here. So that is why it is showing this as an integer, but this as a tuple.
Okay.
Okay, this is an empty tuple, but this is an integer. So whenever we have only one element in a tuple, we always end it with a comma at the end. Okay, just to differentiate between, and this is not an integer, but this is a tuple. Okay.
Makes
Yep.
sense.
Okay, so we have come towards the end of the session today. Basically, we have covered about logical operators. Okay, we have covered and, or, not. Okay, these three operators we covered. We covered something about nested if. Okay, and we covered about list and tuple. Okay, so these are the topics we have covered today. So I will be giving assignments on these topics only that we have covered in today's class. So any okay, so I think we have almost toward the end of the session. So any question, guys? Anything so far in the previous classes I taught you so many things. Today also I have taught you these things. Any doubts in these so far?
We need a practice, lot to catch.
Yeah. Yep. You have to practice. That's very important. Yeah.
Today's video, this is my first class. I don't know. The video will be uploaded in that channel, right? In the channel where we are asked to access.
Correct. In the same playlist, the videos will be uploaded there. Yes.
Sure. Where do we need to submit the assignments?
You can submit me in a one-to-one chat in WhatsApp to me directly.
Okay. Easy.
Okay.
Sure. Will do.
Yeah, sure. So basically, this in Python practice, anything is practice is very important. So whatever assignments I'm giving you now, once you do the assignments, there are two benefits. First, you will do it with your own hand. It will be hands-on for you. That's very important. You'll be remembering the things easier, and like in the upcoming classes also, whatever topics I will cover now, you will be able to correlate with that. First thing. Second thing is, even once this session is over, suppose just want to refresh your Python concepts. When you have the assignments with the question and answers, you can just go through the assignments. That will give you a quick refresh before your interviews or anything. So it will help you in that way as well. Okay, so I would request everyone to do the assignments. Okay, and if you face any problem, challenges while doing assignment, I'm always there to help. We can, before just at the beginning of the session, we can go through the doubts and clear those, if any. Okay, and thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. See you tomorrow in the class. Bye bye.
Sir,
Yeah.
good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Yes.
Sir, I'm joining class today, starting class today.
Okay.
But I'm little bit confusing. Sir, you just taught us some slow, sir. Sir, I think it is going some little bit faster.
Oh, okay. Yes. So no, you can, like during the class, if you feel something is going fast, you can tell me, sir, please go a little bit slow. I have not understood this. Could you please explain me a little bit more? You're always welcome to ask questions. Okay.
I'm today joining class. I'm little bit confusing and fear to ask today, sir.
No, nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. I am not a monster, right? I will not eat you if you ask any questions. You can ask any questions, be it very simple question or anything. Question is a question. Okay. There's nothing to fear. You're always welcome to ask any questions you want. Okay.
Sir,
But
small dot, sir.
yeah, yes. Tell me, what is your doubt?
Sir, how can you say that ASCII value of capital A is 65, sir? It is unique or it may change?
No. This is always the same. It is being defined by the the ASCII. ASCII stands for this. It's a good question. So ASCII stands for American Standard code for information interchange. Okay, so basically whenever and this basically covers are about 120 characters. Okay, in English 120 characters. It will cover your space, commas. It will have some values for these also. Okay, and these are already predefined. Actually, it will not change. It will be remaining like that only.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So, any other doubts?
No, sir. Except this, I have understood.
Okay, fine. Then I would request you to go through the previous classes recordings and do the assignments. It will be more clear to you then after this.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay, sir.
Thanks, Danish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danish.